Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Madana Doric with the Thursday 7th edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, Guyana records 13.3% increase in March visitor arrivals, says Minister Rodrigues. Venezuela calls 1899 Essequibo award a colonial fraud. GDF helicopter crash probe reveals major training gaps. Police remind e-bike users to register and get licensed. And Guyana positioned to become regional hub for energy and digital growth, says President Ali. Now for the news in depth. Guyana's tourism sector continues its rapid upward trajectory, recording a 13.3% increase in visitor arrivals in March 2026 compared to the same period last year. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Honorable Susan Rodrigues, announced that the country welcomed a record 39,484 visitors during the month, underscoring Guyana's growing reputation as one of the Caribbean's and South America's fastest growing tourism destination. More in this report.
Noting that the latest figures had just been received, Minister Rodrigues described the continued growth as a strong indication that the government's tourism strategy is producing results. She noted that visitor arrivals have been increasing steadily throughout the year, signaling confidence in Guyana as a travel destination despite global uncertainties.
We welcomed 39,484 visitors to Guyana. This represents a 13.3% increase over March 2025. We're extremely excited by the positive increase in visitor arrival numbers almost every month of the year. And this, to us, is a demonstration that our strategy is working.
Rodrigues said the growth reflects not only the strength of the tourism and hospitality industry, but also the resilience of destination Guyana. According to the minister, the country has continued to attract travelers even amid international challenges, including geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainty affecting global travel patterns.
That destination Guyana is a resilient destination. So even in the face of the war in Iran and all of the other global challenges that the world is facing today, Guyana remains a strong, resilient destination, deeply rooted in our culture and our authentic experiences.
The minister also highlighted a rise in domestic tourism, noting that more Guyanese are traveling beyond Georgetown and the coastal regions to explore interior destinations. Interior lodges, she said, have reported increased bookings from both international and local travelers, providing a boost to hinterland tourism operators and communities. Minister Rodrigues added that her ministry plans to intensify its promotional activities in the weeks ahead as Guyana prepares to celebrate its 60th independence anniversary. She encouraged the public to look out for upcoming events and tourism promotions throughout the month of May, while reaffirming the government's commitment to expanding and strengthening the sector.
The long-running dispute over the Essequibo region intensified this week as Venezuela and Guyana represented opposing arguments before the International Court of Justice (ICJ). Venezuela claimed the 1899 arbitral award was imposed through colonial pressure by Britain and the United States, while Guyana defended the ruling as a valid and binding settlement that established the border more than a century ago. Details in this report. During the hearings, Professor Mekani Bengue strongly criticized the arbitration process in Paris. He described it as the weaponization of the nascent machinery of international arbitration and called the award, quote-unquote, the poison fruit of a poison tree. Bengue argued that Venezuela lost territory through imperial influence disguised as legal process. Venezuela told the court that the ICJ has no authority to rule on the matter. Its representatives insisted that the 1966 Geneva Agreement should remain the main framework for resolving the controversy through negotiations rather than litigation. Venezuelan official Samuel Mercado also pointed to the country's 2023 referendum as evidence that Venezuelans reject the court's jurisdiction. Guyana rejected those claims and defended the legitimacy of the 1899 award. Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd reminded the judges that Venezuela accepted the ruling for more than 60 years without objection. Guyana's legal team also argued that Dutch settlers established control over Essequibo long before Venezuela became an independent state. Former Foreign Affairs Minister Carl Grenade said Venezuela itself has once pushed for international arbitration after failed negotiations with Britain. According to Guyana, Venezuela sought support from the United States, leading to the 1897 Treaty of Washington and eventually the 1899 award. Guyana argued that Venezuela celebrated the agreement at the time and only challenged it decades later. Another major issue was the controversial Mallet-Prevost Memorandum, which Venezuela uses to support claims of corruption in the arbitration process. Guyana's lawyer Philip Sands dismissed the documents as unreliable and filled with inaccuracies. He argued that the memorandum lacks evidence and cannot overturn a legally binding international award. Adana Dork, Guyana TV9 News. Investigators probing the deadly 2023 GDF Bell 412 helicopter crash have recommended urgent instrument rating and crew management training for all GDF pilots. The draft final reports found the pilots flew into heavy cloud conditions without specialized instrument training, leading to a possible spatial disorientation and loss of control before the aircraft crashed into a mountainside and exploded. The tragedy claimed the lives of 5 servicemen, including veteran pilot Colonel Michael Charles and Colonel Michael Shahood. Investigators also criticized cockpit management, emergency preparedness, and the lack of properly trained GCAA inspectors for the Bell 412 aircraft. 2 servicemen survived the crash, with rescue efforts reportedly taking more than 12 hours. We will be back after the short break. Stay tuned.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana, Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. As global demand for energy and digital infrastructure continues to rise, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has said Guyana is uniquely positioned to become a major hub for regional integration, economic expansion, and technological development within the Western Hemisphere. Here's more. President Ali explained that recent global disruptions have revealed weaknesses in energy supply systems and digital infrastructure, particularly in regions that lack reliable backup networks. He noted that countries must now focus not only on producing energy but also on how effectively that energy is used to create economic opportunities and strengthen competitiveness.
If we are to truly develop an energy plan that is realistic, sustainable, timely, and practical. Energy is going to push everything the future requires. Whether it's data centers. Today, we have seen how important it is to have redundancy in the system. Data centers that were thought could never be hit by anything suddenly went offline. We, in this region, this hemisphere, we have a distinct opportunity to carve a future for this hemisphere with proper future proofing, with the right partners, with the security levels, utilizing our own assets, our own critical minerals, our own reserve, but putting the Western Hemisphere as priority on our agenda.
The president highlighted Guyana's growing energy capacity as a key driver for future industries, including data processing, industrial expansion, and digital services. He pointed out that investments in overseas data centers have exposed vulnerabilities for countries in the Western Hemisphere, particularly where there is limited geographic redundancy and over-reliance on infrastructure outside the region. According to Dr. Ali, countries such as Ghana and Brazil now have an opportunity to work together to create a more secure and interconnected regional system built on strategic energy resources and modern infrastructure. He stressed that stronger collaboration among nations in the hemisphere could significantly improve energy security while unlocking wider economic benefits.
But I believe there is an important opportunity for the medium-sized enterprise, because in advancing our development, we must always reach for the opportunities for the small and medium-sized enterprises. And I would challenge our friends, great friends in the Department of Commerce, to help us find those medium-sized operators, whether in manufacturing, industrial development, technological services, so that we can bring these companies along with us on this journey of development and prosperity.
President Ali added that Guyana has already begun investing in critical infrastructure, including power generation, transmission networks, and digital systems, to support future growth. He said these developments are intended to ensure that the country remains competitive in a technology-driven global economy while contributing to broader regional advancement. Adana Durek, Guyana TV9 News. Traffic police are urging electric bike riders across Guyana to follow the laws of the road and practice safer driving habits. The reminder comes as electronic motorcycles, commonly known as e-bikes, continue to grow in popularity because of their affordability, fuel efficiency, and ease of use. Speaking on the issue was Police Corporal Daniel Sharon of the Traffic Headquarters Education Unit. He explained that while e-bikes are becoming a preferred mode of transportation for many Guyanese, some riders continue to misuse them and ignore important traffic regulations.
I want to urge persons, before owning an electric cycle, you must know that you have to register it at the Guyana Revenue Authority and also fit yourself with a valid driver's license.
The traffic officer also encouraged riders to take extra precaution when using e-bikes at night. According to him, visibility is one of the biggest concerns for road users, especially along poorly lit roadways.
I want to ensure persons at night when riding these electric cycles to wear bright clothing so other road users could see them. Also ensure that your bike has working lights at the front and the rear, including indicators and trafficators. Also, I want to ensure that your horn are working, and always remember, Careful driving saves lives.
Police are continuing efforts to educate the public about road safety as the use of electric motorcycles increases nationwide. Authorities are reminding riders that responsible driving and proper safety measures can reduce accidents and save lives. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News. We will be back after the short break. Stay tuned.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Persons eligible for registration must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for their area of residence to apply. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were registered, apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered must collect their new ID cards if they have not yet done so. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy. GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. If you have moved to a new address since you were registered, you are required to update your address by applying for a transfer to ensure your address is accurate. Where to apply for a transfer? Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to apply for a transfer. When to apply for a transfer? You can apply to have your address updated during this national registration exercise. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. The office hours for GECOM are: permanent registration offices open Monday to Thursdays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 16 hours 30, and on Fridays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Turning to regional news, Canadian mining company Sherritt International has suspended joint venture activities in Cuba following expanded U.S. sanctions imposed by President Donald Trump. The move includes repatriating employees and scaling back cooperation with Cuban partners. The decision deals a major economic blow to Cuba as Washington intensifies pressure on the communist-run government. Internationally, Ghana has rejected a proposed $109 million health funding agreement with the United States over concerns about data privacy and national sovereignty. Officials said the deal would have granted extensive access to sensitive health data without adequate oversight. Ghana joined several African nations pushing back against new U.S. health aid agreements. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow us on our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GYTV9. I'm Adana Darek. Thanks for watching.